Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Dallas, Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for the Cowboys in the coming seasons. There's a lot of buzz swirling around a potential blockbuster trade involving none other than Myles Garrett, the all-pro pass rusher from the Cleveland Browns. And trust me, this is not just some rumor floating around. It's a narrative gaining serious traction among NFL insiders and teams looking to shake up the landscape. The Cowboys, always aggressive in their pursuit of elite talent, are reportedly eyeing Garrett as a key piece to bolster their defense for a serious playoff push and possibly even a Super Bowl run. So what's the scoop? Well, sources indicate that the Browns, who are currently sitting at 3-10 and are deep into a full rebuild, are willing to part ways with Garrett. Cleveland is in a tough spot, cap space is tight, and their focus is shifting heavily towards rebuilding the roster around their young quarterback and future assets. Garrett, who's been one of the most dominant edge rushers in the league, is seen as a prime candidate to be traded for a hefty package. The Browns are reportedly looking for a first-round pick in 2026 and a second-round pick in 2027, along with some cap relief and a youth infusion into their roster. The idea is to clear some cap space, bring in new draft capital, and give their rebuild a fresh start. Now Garrett isn't just a good player, he's one of the best at his position, a true game wrecker. This season alone, he's been a nightmare for offensive lines, leading the NFL with 19 sacks, which is just phenomenal considering the Browns' overall struggles on offense. He's also registered 35 tackles, and his PFF grade sits at an impressive 92. One reflecting his consistency and dominance game after game. His EPA per rush is at 0.25, pressures at 4.5 per game, and he's been responsible for forcing turnovers, with 3 forced fumbles so far. His career stats are equally remarkable, with over 100 sacks, a 91. 0 PFF grade across his career, and a run-stop percentage of 88, allowing only 3.6 yards per run. That's the kind of impact player every team dreams of having on their defense. Recently, Garrett showed why he's considered one of the league's elite, recording multiple sacks in recent games against divisional rivals. He's been the NFL's sack leader most of the year and continues to set the tone for whoever he plays for. His ability to disrupt plays, pressure the quarterback, and command double teams makes him a truly invaluable asset. For the Cowboys, adding Garrett would be a seismic shift. Imagine pairing him with Micah Parsons. The duo would be unstoppable, terrorizing quarterbacks and making life miserable for offensive lines across the league. But let's be real here. The Browns are in a tricky spot financially too. Their cap situation is tight, and while they have a solid defense, they're giving up 22. 5 points per game, not terrible, but not enough to hide their offensive struggles. Cleveland's focus has shifted towards rebuilding their offense, especially their quarterback situation, and they're willing to let Garrett go to free up cap space and bring in draft capital. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially for a player of Garrett's caliber, but that's the NFL. It's all about value, roster flexibility, and future planning. Now, what about the Cowboys? Well, their defense has been solid but inconsistent, especially after losing some of their pass rush firepower in the Parsons trade. They're currently giving up over 386 points this season, which is far from ideal for a team with championship ambitions. The front seven needs a boost, and Garrett could be just the spark they need. Adding him would increase their projected sack total by over 25%, significantly improving their pressure rate and overall pass rush efficiency. The Cowboys are already showing signs of improvement, with pressures per game rising and their run defense getting better, but Garrett's presence would push them into an entirely new stratosphere. Looking at the stats, the impact would be immediate. Garrett would give the Cowboys a +2. 1 disruption per route, similar to the kind of impact a shutdown corner like Trevon Diggs has in the secondary. He'd also be a huge help in critical moments, especially against top divisional rivals like the Eagles and Commanders. His presence would boost the team's chances of forcing turnovers, increasing their current +10 turnover margin. That's the kind of player who can change the course of a game with a single sack or forced fumble. And let's not forget the playoff implications. The Cowboys' Super Bowl odds, which currently sit at plus 5,000, could see a massive boost if Garrett joins the fold. As the team's pass rush gets a serious upgrade, their chances of making a deep playoff run increase exponentially. Garrett's playoff experience and elite skill set would make him an X-factor, especially in high-pressure moments. The Cowboys' defense, which is currently ranked around 20th in the league, could vault into the top 8 with his addition, making them a nightmare for any offense they face in January. Now, of course, this kind of trade isn't just about talent. It's about timing, cap space, and team chemistry. The Cowboys would need to make some roster moves to fit Garrett under the cap, but given their flexibility this year, it's doable. They're already investing over $21 million in their cap space, which isn't excessive considering the talent they're bringing in. Plus, Garrett's age and contract situation make him an attractive target. He's still in his prime and would likely be a key piece for at least the next few seasons. Some might say, is it worth giving up those draft picks? Well, for a player of Garrett's caliber, the answer is yes. Drafting is crucial, no doubt, but when you have a chance to add a top-tier pass rusher who can change your entire defense around, you take it. The Cowboys are in a window where they need to maximize their talent and push for a Super Bowl, and Garrett could be the final piece that puts them over the top. Imagine the crowd at AT&T Stadium, roaring as Garrett and Parsons wreak havoc on the quarterback. That's the kind of scene that defines a championship-caliber defense. Now, some skeptics might argue that Cleveland isn't just going to give away Garrett without a fight, and they're right. Negotiations would be tough, and the Browns would want to ensure they get maximum value. But if the Cowboys can present a compelling package, maybe a first-rounder in 2026, a second in 2027, and some salary cap relief, they could sway Cleveland. It's a bold move, but one that could define the franchise for years to come. And honestly, with the way Garrett is playing, it's a gamble worth taking. Looking ahead, if the trade goes through, it could absolutely reshape the NFC landscape. The Cowboys would have a dominant front line that's tough to beat, especially in the playoffs. Garrett's presence would also send a message to the rest of the league. Dallas isn't just a team looking to compete, they're a team aiming to dominate. The NFC East would have to recalibrate, and rivals like the Eagles and Commanders would need to adjust their game plans accordingly. It's a chess match, and Garrett could be the king in this scenario. In terms of the bigger picture, this move symbolizes the Cowboys' aggressive approach this season. They've already been making moves to bolster their roster, and acquiring Garrett would be the cherry on top. It's about building a championship team, not just for this year, but for years to come. The fans want to see that relentless pursuit of excellence, and Garrett's addition would exemplify that mindset. So as we watch and wait, this potential blockbuster trade remains one of the most talked about topics in the NFL. Will Cleveland pull the trigger? Will Dallas strike gold again? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, if this trade happens, it's going to be a game changer. The Cowboys would be stepping into a new era of dominance, and fans like us couldn't be more excited. Garrett in Dallas? It could be the move that propels us straight back to the Super Bowl and helps us write yet another legendary chapter in Cowboys history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. Do you believe Garrett's arrival could be the spark that finally pushes us over the top? Or do you think Cleveland holds on to him and we miss out on this game-changing opportunity? Either way, this is a story that's just getting started, and we'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way. Remember, I'll be back soon with more news, analysis, and all the latest from the Cowboys camp. So stay tuned, keep the passion alive, and let's keep dreaming big, because with Garrett or without him, the Dallas Cowboys are always aiming for greatness.